primary residence.
But you wouldn't do that if they had.
Freddie Mac, if you know what you're doing, Freddie Mac will do up to 10. Somebody who has not how many you own, but how many you have financed. So with Freddie Mac, you can have up to 10 financed properties and still qualify. I have other lenders that will allow up to 20 financed rental properties. So that's not your problem. I think it must be something having to do with the debt ratio. I certainly could put a second set of eyes on it, but that's not going to solve your problem. Your other problem, you're handling the way you need to handle. You have to show proof of life to the credit bureaus. I guess, her picture next to the newspaper.
The newspaper, right?
Yeah. And go through the process. But I feel like you should be able to get that corrected sooner than 30 days. Sometimes if you are a squeakier wheel and get somebody on the phone, you can make that happen a little sooner. I've seen people
why would that take 30 days to fix? Seems like that would be a priority.
Because that's their go-to. That's their standard thing. They're like, okay, send it in to us in writing and allow it to 30 days for us to review it and fix it. That's their go-to. Yeah. But I've seen people in serious situations like this, where they're reporting someone deceased that's not deceased, where you can get things done a little quicker. You just got to spend about 2 days of your life on the phone, probably, getting through to somebody and following up, and it's going to be miserable, but I think you can get it done quicker than 30 days. Sorry you're going through that. It really stinks. I think in some cases where the credit bureaus will get something wrong, and getting it off of there is like an act of Congress. I've had it happen myself. I've had something on my credit report that was completely erroneous. Not even my account. Never had that account. Don't even know what it was. It's I've had other people where they've had a twin brother, where they or they had something because they have the same name as their father or their grandfather, and some of those things take forever to untangle. You're trying to prove that you're not Mike Jones the third, you're Mike Jones the second, and it's like a big problem. And it really stinks that it's so hard to get through and get stuff fixed at all the credit bureau. And then you got to do it 3 times, whatever it is. So yeah,
they all have different guidelines.
Yeah. And different ways to do it and different people you got to get in touch with. So it's a nightmare. Sorry you're going through all that.
Don.
I'm Don.
That mortgage guy, Dan. Daniel Dennis, like, hey, what's up, guys?
That's fine, OJ. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, MJ.
Angel says, Don, the man with the voice of an angel.
Oh.
He's wondering, when do you think this bubble will burst? And do you own any Bitcoin?
Is it a bubble?
Well, pardon? Yeah, and that's my question. Is it a bubble? Because we talked about that.
Is it a true bubble?
I mean, there's different questions about the bubble. We're talking about a real estate bubble, finance bubble, inflation bubble. There's all kinds of them out there, but I don't feel like the one I'm involved in. I'm a mortgage expert, so I'm going to talk about the one I know about, which is real estate. I don't think we're in a bubble. I don't think, although prices are going up, it's because of supply and demand. There's so many qualified people. There are more qualified people that want to buy than there are homes to buy.
Free market, right? Free market enterprise.
Capitalism. Yeah. Like if everybody wants to buy bananas and you've got the only bananas.
The bananas here. Got your bananas.
Yeah.
They're $1 each.
I got a banana. You want a banana, right?
All right. But there's only 4 bananas and there's 10 of you.
$19.
Now banana prices are surging.
When's the banana bubble going to burst?
Banana bubble bursts.
The banana truck showed up.
Oh, bananas are cheap.
And there you have it. We've simplified real estate.
They're capitalism, everyone. In a small, short play.
And
thin.
And
every week. Boats, juice, bananas, you name it.
Capitalism. The game takes on capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
That's interpreted through
Always sunny in Florida.
Burgeoning banana market.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a bubble. When we had the real estate bubble before, it was because there was bad financing available. Unqualified people were getting homes that they shouldn't have been getting. Now, and that drove the prices up. Now we have qualified people, too many qualified people trying to buy. So more than the supply is. So I don't think it's a bubble. I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball. We'll see where things go. But based on all the economics, and I read a lot of economic papers and websites and things every single day when I get to work to stay on top of this. From what I'm seeing, I don't think it's a bubble. I don't think that this is really a real estate bubble that's going to burst. I see articles about it where people are saying this real estate bubble is going to burst. And then I read the content of the article and they don't say a single thing in there that thinks it other than their opinion. So it's not based on facts. So I don't think so. And in fact, for 21 of the last 25 weeks in my research, the number of new listings on the market has gone up. So we're seeing that more bananas are coming into the market. So prices are actually leveling out.
Don't listen to him. I have the only banana you need. Quiet.
How
Don,
much? How
I'm
much
trying
for
to
that
make
banana?
money.
How much? How much?
Fritz's banana is $1,100. Mine is only $5.
Why, you sneaky.
All right. I was going to ask a question.
Go ahead, MJ.
Okay. Deland Beer Guy here wants to know, what are your thoughts on Barndominiums?
Barndominiums.
Have you had thoughts on Barndominiums? I'm interested in Barndominiums. I'm guessing it's a barn that's turned into a
Makes sense.
condominium.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a barn that's turned into multiple condominiums.
So it seems like, and he's asking about value.
He's asking what I think about them.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about them, and what do you think their values are?
I've never seen one. I don't know what their values are, but what I think about them is you're going to have to pay cash, because I don't think that's something you're going to be able to get financed, at least not right now. There's a lot of things like that. The tiny homes, you can actually get the tiny homes financed. There's the shipping crate homes that people are building. They're not quite there yet. This is maybe the first or second time I've heard of Barndominiums, but we'll see. I'll do a little research this week and see what I can find. You're listening to Home Loans Radio. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Home Loans Radio on Real Radio. Now back to the show with that mortgage guy, Don.
You are listening to Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don, where we explain all the things about mortgages and capitalism. So tune in. Tune in for all the things you need to know.
That's great, MJ. I like that.
Quality information.
So text in your questions about capitalism to MJ.
Homeowners of the world, unite. You have
77031
to lose but your mortgage.
Nothing to lose but your house.
Nobody's losing their house. Don't say that. You kids, calm down now. We're here. We're a serious subject. We're talking about mortgages and home loans, and it is a live show. You can participate. Text your questions into 77031. Your comments. Your amusing riddles for MJ. We do a riddle at the end of the show every week, and MJ's been kind of running out of riddles, but we've had some listeners text in some that she's been using, and if we use your riddle on air, then you get a $35 gift certificate to the Home Depot. So send MJ a riddle. A riddle to
the Home Depot.
Send a riddle.
But beware, because we have done the show for a long time. So
don't go like Google riddles.
Most riddles I have seen. So give me the one that you've had in your pocket for 20 years. You're like, ooh, my grandpa told us this riddle. That's the one I want.
If you're thinking you're going to go to Google and type in riddle, MJ has done that 1,000 times.
Yeah, I even found a juice riddle once recently. It's pretty gross.
Well done.
Is it better to contact
the
worst juice? Is it better to contact all three credit bureaus separately for my information, or will it be the same if you go through one online source?
Good question.
One more time. I didn't.
Is it better to contact all three credit bureaus separately for my information, or will it be the same if I go through one online source?
I guess they're talking about like if you go get your free annual credit report online, which you can get.
Equifax.
I would do it. I would do it probably with all three.
Okay.
And it's not going to be the same because, well, it could be the same, but it's possible that it's not going to be the same because different.
How often is it the same?
Rarely.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Rarely, because you've got some entities like you might have a credit card for, I don't know, something that some online shopping thing. Like TJ Maxx. I don't know who they report to, but for instance, they may only report to Equifax and not TransUnion, or they may only report to TransUnion and not Experian, or something along those lines. I've seen it before where there's a collection and it's on one bureau, not the other two.
Or like an apartment complex collection or things like they only report to one.
When they report, they have to pay to report. So sometimes they'll report to just one if they're required to report, but not all three. And so like in the case where I've seen where someone had a collection on one bureau, their score on the other two bureaus were great. On the one bureau, their score was bad because it had a collection. But we go by the middle score, so it was still fine. We could use that. So I would say if you're trying to fix something or you just want to see everything that's on there, and you can go to the free annual credit report. That's be careful when you go there. You got to have the exact right website because there's a lot of lookalikes that try and be close to that website. And when you get on there, they'll try and charge you money. If somebody's trying to charge you money to see your free annual credit report, you're on the wrong website.
What if you just go to Equifax and
now if with that free annual credit report, if you want to see your scores, you have to pay extra. But what the free annual credit report does is show you everything that's on there, every detailed account. To get your scores, you have to do something different. But I would definitely all three. They're different. They don't all have the same things. Kind of the rule is, from what I've heard, different regions of the country rely on different areas. Like TransUnion is considered to be more towards the northeast, and Equifax is more towards the southeast and southwest. So, but regardless, you got to do all three, and they will have different things on there. If you've been in the credit world for more than a couple years, they're going to be a little bit different.
I have no money to put down on a home, and I am not military. What options are available to me?
Well, you've got a few options. If you're eligible to be a first-time home buyer, there's down payment assistance out there through there's the government, the federal government program, the SHIP program, SHIP. There's the Florida bond program where you can get $10,000-$15,000 of down payment assistance. If your scores have to be good enough and your income has to be low enough, because it's for middle to lower income folks. They don't want you to be, a fancy millionaire with $100,000 in there and getting down payment assistance. So there are some rules about how
I'm a fancy millionaire, but I'd like some help with this fancy house.
I'd like some free money. So you can qualify if your score is good enough and your income is low enough to be under the threshold. That's the one way. The other way is the USDA loan, the United States Department of Agriculture loan. That's for more rural areas.
I always say for a country mouse.
For a country mouse or a country lion or whatever you are. But those are for rural areas. On those, it's still income based. Like you have to have below a certain income. It's not too restrictive. I think for a family of two, it's around 75, 80,000. So if you're below that, that's not the exact amount. It depends on how many people are in your family and how many of those people are earning income. It looks at household income. So even if you have let's say you got an 18-year-old living in your house working, you would have to count their income into that equation. But it's more based on the property where it sits upon the earth. So out in certain rural areas, you can get 100% financing through that program. You can see actually where those areas are. You go to the USDA website. Up at the top, you'll see a thing that says geographical map. You click on that. You put in a zip code or a city or an area code, and it shows you in two-tone shading, like one is white and one is like tan,
right, what
areas are eligible. So you can see sometimes people will think they're not in an eligible area, but literally a half mile down the road, there's like a little spot in the map where it's, I don't want to say gerrymandered, but it's kind of,
kind of wonky
written in where you might be able to find a home that suits your needs. So those are three different.
Little Suspicious sounds like a rap name.
Yep.
I like it.
With dollar signs.
Suspicious.
Little tiny baby suspicious. all
That's a suspicious signs. Little baby.
I think they all are.
Suspicious.
But that's a great question. There's three ways.
You mean all babies?
Yes.
I don't know. I was giving you the side eye.
And suspects.
You don't know what they're thinking about. They never tell you.
There was a thumbtack here a minute ago.
Where is that thumbtack?
Why are you looking at me that way, baby?
Why do you look drunk, baby?
Why are you always throwing up, baby?
Why you look drunk, baby? Usually when
Why so much gas, baby?
Yeah, when I'm stumbling out of a bar. Why you look drunk, baby?
Welcome back to Home Loans Radio,
where we just try to amuse ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're not texting in, this is what'll happen.
You're missing out, man.
Yeah, a lot of people are texting in. We need to get back to business.
Here's someone who actually says, "I love listening to your serious and silly stuff on Saturday morning. Thank you for being fun."
But that was a great question. So if you don't have the money for a down payment, there are ways to work it out. There, we talked about a couple types of down payment assistance, a USDA loan. So there are some options. You can always go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button to try and start a pre-approval, and we'll look at your situation and see if there's a way to help you get into your house. That's what we do. We work with a lot of first-time home buyers.
Awesome. Hola. Is it possible for this? Hola. Is it possible for the same thing to happen in the United States like it just did in China, where people just lost their deposits on their new homes being built because a certain company crashed? Do we have protection against this? That's deposits on new homes being built.
Well, I mean, you have a legal protection. I don't know what happened in China. I can't speculate. It's a different type of country, than we are.
Capitalism, not so much.
Right.
Yeah. I see a thread.
I can't speak to that, but I can say when you start a new home in the United States or in Florida, for example, you sign a contract. You
Mhm.
know, there is a legal protection for you. You have certain obligations. The builder has certain obligations. There's money that are deposits, and if they don't keep up their end of the deal, then you sue them, and you know there's a legal